Welcome back to the After Hours podcast. Today we are talking about a super controversial but super interesting topic, astrology. Well, some people don't really care for astrology and they think it's the devil.
I mean, I don't care or believe in it, but it's fun to look at it. It's like fortune cookies.
This started off interesting. But today we have a special guest along with our original, basic members. So I'm Jalea.
I'm Sayla.
I'm Jasmine.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Megan.
I'm Ahmad.
So today, Megan gave me the honor of starting off this conversation about astrology. Do you all even know what it is?
Star signs?
I know.
Teach us, teacher.
Charlie, what do you think astrology is?
So in essence, you're basically tying a certain personality type to when you were born, relative to where the stars are in the sky. So you'll act a certain way or be a certain way relative to constellations, etc. So
That's true. Does everybody believe in astrology, or y'all like, ugh?
hard no.
It's very interesting. Sometimes it may be dead accurate, but sometimes it's not. So I'm like, it's whatever, you know.
I mean, I don't believe in it. Like, it's some type of, like, I don't know. I just think it's interesting to see, like, if I read a horoscope or happen to like, pass by one and it's, like, you know, accurate, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Same.
But, I mean, that's about it.
I almost view it like mythology in a sense, where it's like I would never like agree that Zeus is real, but that's really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm interested and it's valid, but I don't necessarily like agree that it's a real thing.
Same. I like looking at it only like in like passing. Like I'm not like dedicating my day. Like, okay, before I start my morning, I need to look at this and make sure it's lucky today and stuff like that. But like,
Yeah, nobody's looking at like, I don't know, the daily affirmation of a Libra or a daily affirmation of so and so. Some people may do that, but that's not me.
I think, but what I like doing is like when I am in that moment where I'm like just clicking on like, oh, my friend's this sign, I'm this sign and whatever. And then they have like that tag of like, oh, personality traits or like, oh, you're this type of person, or in a relationship, these like signs would be like this. And I like looking at it because I'm like, ooh, girl, that sounds like you. That sounds like you. But then I'm like, these aren't true to me. So, I mean, it's just fun in the moment, but they hold no like true value to me.
I feel like I'm the only person here that actually believes in it. I don't base all of my decisions off of it, but I do agree that it is something that exists, and I think that it can help us better understand each other. Not even like on some horoscope bullshit, but like literally like personality characteristics and how you treat people and how you like interact with them. So I guess, do you all know your signs?
Yes. I think everybody should.
Do you want to say your signs and what you think? Like, what's the biggest stereotype about your sign, if you know it?
Okay, well, I'm a Virgo, and usually we're very, like, detailed-oriented. Supposedly, we're supposed to have, like, a plan. We're very detailed. We have to have things going our way. Like, it seems like we have some Virgo haters up in here, so I'm going to just stop talking because, obviously, I can pass a mic, okay? I can pass a mic.
No, you're good.
Ahmad, you can do ours.
Okay, so me and Julia are both Libras, and I guess the stereotype for us is that we're very indecisive people, and it takes us a long time to figure out what to do.
I would agree.
So, yeah,
1000%.
that's the main one.
I'm a Capricorn, and from what I've gathered is Capricorns are usually like the quiet ones, hardworking, you know, don't really play a lot, but when they do, they play hard. But yeah, I think that's about it.
I'm literally trying to read it as we speak. I'm a Sagittarius.
Ooh, I know one then.
You got a stereotype?
I don't know what a specific stereotype is because my cousin's a Sagittarius, and every time I read a horoscope that has Sagittarius, I'm like, oh yeah, that seems like you. So I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, it's an adaptability and flexibility, so I always want change.
Yeah, I would agree strongly.
I'm a Taurus.
Say it with your chest.
The only thing I know is that Tauruses are stubborn.
Bullheaded.
Are you stubborn, man?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, just think off the top of my head, I'm stubborn because I walk on campus alone at
night in the dark,
Won't take a bus when they're free.
or ride in the car when I give her a ride.
I just feel
Do
like
you,
walking.
Meg? Do you, Meg?
I'm going to
It's a bunch
defend
of
Megan.
haters.
I've taken the
haterade.
bus with Megan before.
When?
She got on
He
the bus.
has.
once.
He has
Yeah.
taken the bus.
Once
Where
out
did
of
we go, Megan?
50 million times.
I can't remember.
Didn't
Were we coming?
Now I
The
can't
fact
even
that
get
you
on the
can't
bus again. It's a
remember
lie.
is
We were
the
coming
issue.
We were coming here to a podcast.
Oh, wow.
Okay, the
Yeah.
fact that you can't remember again
That's a lie.
proves a point.
It's okay.
I'll also do another one for Libra since I am one. I think one of our big stereotypes is that we're vain, which I am vain sometimes. Like I don't stare at myself in the mirror, but like if there is a
She said
mirror,
no.
But
Yes.
If there was
Yes.
one, I would.
Yes.
if there is a mirror,
Yes.
I'm looking at it.
like
No, I look at myself.
you said I was conceited.
I'm not gonna lie. I stay. I can probably stay there for probably 5 minutes. Just
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
So,
said-
Just making sure everything.
I'm gonna be walking past. I'm gonna be in your house when we come to visit. I'm gonna just see you in the hallway looking at you. So I'm like, what the fuck?
No, like every time I go to the mall, like you know how they have them little block and they got the mirror.
Oh,
right
so I
there.
always
I'm
stop.
standing
Y'all can't
there
even
like
walk
I'm
to the
like
mall
okay.
together.
I'm looking,
said,
checking, you know.
So you're
Where
the
the
kind
shoes
of
at?
person. I'm gonna walk into your house. You're about to have this huge portrait of you.
Oh,
And it's
God,
gonna be hanging up in your
no.
bedroom.
No.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm
no,
just
that's-
the type, like, I have, I think, 4 or 5 different mirrors that I check before I go out for the day.
Yeah.
Like, I check the big mirror in my bathroom,
Okay.
the small mirror in my room,
Alright.
and then, like, if
She's
the
got a
light's not
routine.
right, then I'll, like, open my blinds. And then I check the door mirror in my room, and then before I leave,
She said, "Let me get this
there's
light in."
another mirror in the living room that I'll, like, pop in. I'll be like, okay, you know, let me see if these shoes go with this, and then I'll leave. That's my routine.
Wow. Okay.
Sometimes it's hard for me to pick clothes. Like I struggle so hard. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
Indecisiveness in
Yeah,
action.
Yeah. Yeah. So I agree with both. Definitely.
So, moving on from stereotypes, I guess to kind of tie into what we talked about last episode, which you all should go and look at, we talked about love languages. I said that so weird. Love languages. I couldn't get my tongue together. But a thing a lot of people are interested into with astrology and zodiac signs is compatibility, which I think sucks because I don't think I'm compatible with the sign that the internet says that I am. Do you all know what signs you're compatible with?
Yes.
I haven't looked.
No idea.
I think I'll find out today.
Absolutely.
So Tauruses, we have 2 Tauruses in the room. You all are compatible with Cancers. So I can kind of see that because Tauruses are supposed to be very bullheaded and Cancers are kind of the opposite. They're stubborn, but they're super, super, super sensitive. So I feel like you can't be as bullheaded with a Cancer because they'll flip on you. So it's kind of like you're equal. Virgos, you're compatible. You want to say yours?
With a Taurus, but sadly, it's not felt. It's not mutual. So that's great. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about me?
No, I'm just saying that the sign is for yours is a
Oh.
Cancer.
Oh, I thought this sounds like,
She
what do
said,
you
"Meg,
mean?
actually, I don't even like you like that."
No. I'm saying how usually you would think that if a sign is compatible with another, their compatibility would be reciprocated, but it is not. And so my sign is with a Virgo is most compatible with a Taurus, but in your case, yours would be with a Cancer. And so it seems like you'll never find love. Like if this is like you go by things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
like,
was like,
my greatest partner, and I looked this up too because it was like, oh, no other sign is as truly dedicated to one another as a Virgo and Taurus.
yeah.
Yet a Taurus is like, oh, that Cancer over there.
Aren't they both Earth signs?
Taurus. Wait, it's Taurus and Virgo?
Yeah.
Virgo is Earth, I think. I don't get into that. I only know air
Okay.
signs.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause that's. I thought. Are y'all Earth signs?
I think they're.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not.
a Taurus is an earth sign.
What is,
I'm pretty
what is
sure.
Sagittarius?
Sagittarius is a fire.
I'd be
But-
Fire. They
I'm a
a
earth.
little different.
Yes.
a little different.
So with that, Libras, our compatibility partner in the zodiac,
Virgos are
Sign.
earth sign.
yeah.
So that's why.
What?
And you're about to say Gemini, right?
Yeah.
They're both air signs.
No,
air signs.
Air signs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
said. I completely disagree. This is not to add all the Geminis, but I don't do too well with Geminis.
I don't think I've ever had a Gemini friend, actually.
You don't want
I don't
one.
think.
Anyways.
Yeah. Oh, you just want to
Oh,
put all that hate in the air?
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
wow.
We love a good Gemini. Occasionally.
Occasionally.
So
Sometimes.
Capricorns is a Taurus. Again.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow,
Y'all
compatible,
Tauruses.
everybody.
Y'all need to stop.
But you know what? Let's just say this. I got these off of the internet, so don't at me.
Because there's no way you can be compatible with the Taurus. Like,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
look,
But you
I
can
was
be
up another
compatible,
site.
like, moving around.
Yeah.
Well,
But I just did.
And they don't love you back. What the hell?
right.
But you know what? I
That's
only
not
did-
me.
I'm not thinking of you. I'm just saying in general,
God.
side eye. But in general, I'm just saying, what is this?
But you know what? I didn't use any other signs other than the ones that we have in our room.
mm-hmm.
So that could probably have an effect on it too. But Sagittarius, yours is Aries.
Hmm.
What do you think?
They're
about
fire
that?
signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really paid too much attention to it. I just like if I like a person, I like a person. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. It don't matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't.
Okay, so this might be off topic, and I'm just so interrupting. I'm so sorry. But okay, so I looked up the best match, you know, because the Taurus,
Oh,
I was
here we
feeling
go.
some type of way. And so they said that the best match for a Virgo, and talking about marriage, is to marry another Virgo. And they said the worst match would be with the Aries. They were like, yeah, don't marry those people. But granted, I don't care about these. However,
Yeah.
my sister happens to be an Aries, and I'm just thinking, like, if my life partner had, like, made me feel the anger that sometimes my sister did, I'd be divorced. Like, point blank. Like, and it's not even that, like, we really get into issues. It's just, like, those moments, you know? It just rises, and you're just like, oh, no. So maybe there's
I
truth to
mean,
this.
I think maybe like certain signs are more predisposed to have certain personality types might be
Yeah.
the issue, but like you could be a Sagittarius and then not necessarily take on those personality types.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So
I'll say the same because, like, Libras, we could be polar opposites. One, somebody can be really, really exciting, like, just crazy. And then the other is kind of, like, chilled, laid back, and, like,
Okay, with that in
Relax.
mind, you have Virgos in your life. Do you
Yes.
feel they're all similar?
yes.
Okay.
That's
see?
why I think you act the same as them, and I don't like them.
Oh!
Well, I'm saying, like,
Wow,
I
okay.
don't
Open the
dislike
door.
them. I'm just saying, like,
It's
I'm
okay.
not.
Hey,
No, I'm
I got my
saying, like,
jacket
they
and stuff
just
out there.
kinda-
I think I'm gonna have to, like,
I get it. No, I understand. I feel it.
no,
Oh,
it's kind of like,
yeah.
it's just like, you know, it's like, you know, everything doesn't have to be perfect, you know? Everything doesn't have to
I
be
told you this
We
was
don't have to love
a certain
everybody all
way,
the time.
you know?
don't
Yeah,
have to
you know,
love
it doesn't
everybody
have
all
to
the
be.
time. Yeah.
You
Doesn't
don't
have
mean
to be
that.
like
What
that.
he
I don't mean like
means-
I hate
It
you
sounded like
personally. It's like I don't like
He
the
said,
fact
"I
that
just
y'all
hate the
like
way
to
you
be
act."
perfect.
He doesn't like specific character traits, but you were just like bold. But
It didn't come. It
anyways.
didn't come out how it was supposed to come
Say
out.
sorry.
So I
Anyways.
apologize.
Okay.
Apparently, to like go off, so my friend, she's really into astrology too. So apparently, there's moon signs
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
that might even go into like everything, like why your personality might be different. If you guys are Libras, like it might be your moon sign or whatever, and that's
And
too
also,
much.
when it comes to astrology, a lot of people do it by their birthday, but they say that you should also go by like the time you were born, your birthday, and then like
Where you were born.
yeah, because you can actually be a different sign based
Yeah.
off of that versus a lot of people have like the regular sign based off birthdays, and then they have a different
There's
sign.
an animal sign, you know. Like
That's like yeah.
I think we did one where I think I got
same
Aquarius.
thing.
Well, those are called your birth charts.
Yeah.
So reading your entire birth chart can give us a synopsis of every single aspect of your personality, which is kind of scary because it is accurate to a sense.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you don't like this on your waffles and you scream when you get mad. It's just like very, very generalized but very specific like descriptions of how you like things and how you operate as like a human being. So my dad would always tell me like, don't share your birth chart with other people because sometimes it can be really personal and other people can understand how you operate and can manipulate you.
That's scary.
So Yeah, just think about
Keep
that.
that at your side. Let's not.
Yeah, let
Let's
me
not-
not say that again.
No, it's
You have to
okay.
mute that out.
That's
He said it's gonna be edited anyway.
About what's edited out?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm dead. Okay. So moving forward,
goodness.
what do you think makes two people compatible to one another if you're not all hyped up about like astrology?
Personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm not going up to someone and being like, "Oh wow, he's such a great person," and then him be like, "Oh, by the way, I'm an Aries," and I'm like, "Ooh, time out.
Oh,
Like,
Sorry.
what's your sign?
Yeah.
Like, you
This-
come up and you like, what's your
Yeah.
sign? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
like I'm so
oh
sorry."
shit, you're
you're done,
fuck.
bro.
Gemini, Taurus, like they
Yeah.
don't really treat me that well. Like they say they do, but like
I'm gonna need you
No.
to delete that phone number real quick.
yeah, like I'm gonna have to block you. Like I
Yeah.
can't have this energy in my life. Like no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that. Like I think that there's certain personalities and it's tailored to the specific people.
Mhm.
And so once you know that, then you can make a decision on who you're compatible with. But yeah, I don't know if I'm just like, oh, I feel like this is about to be a great conversation because I can just see and hear that you are and no, that's not how that works.
I think in my case, it's very. I like it because like it's kind of like, we got an issue.
Back it up a little bit.
I'm sorry. But like in my case, like so my significant other is a Libra, so I think we both get each other and what we like and what we don't like,
Mhm.
and I think it helps to know, even though I kind of like
Yeah.
be playing around and messing around and stuff. But that was back to last episode. But like even still, it just helps to know like I know she doesn't like that because I don't like that.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
it helps.
2 questions. 1, Julia, do you feel the same? And 2, this makes me think of the question. We talking about partners, right? But what if you're like so against a star sign that you try to make sure your kids aren't born that star sign, you know?
my god.
Oh my
Would you be
goodness.
like
Y'all
would
are-
you
y'all getting
like go
crazy
that
on me
like
right now.
deep about it? Cuz like let's say like you wanted just a Libra family. I don't know what you're into. I just
I'll say so. Question number 1.
yes.
I agree because I think we share a lot of similar like character traits.
Mhm.
And so even though like our personalities are different, how we operate is very similar. So like we both, even though we're like outgoing, well I'm more outgoing than he is, but you're still outgoing, we both are very private people, and that's something that we don't take for granted. It's like one of those things, it's like your core like identity. And like my core identity, or both of ours, is like privacy and relationships. So neither one of us share stuff like that with anybody because we both see it as like one of the ultimate like
I feel like
kinds of
it shows our
betrayal.
weakness. Like it's kind of like if we let you in and we say, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this," or in my personal life, that person may take it and use it against us. So we're kind of like protecting ourselves in a sense. So
Okay,
Yeah.
children comment. You don't like Gemini supposedly.
So here's the thing. I'm not going to like get pregnant every single February of every single year just to have a bunch of Libras and Scorpios. But I will say that like based off of when my child is going to be born, I'm going to look up their birth chart to kind of understand them as they get older, because my dad did the same thing with me. And so the way he parented me versus my sister was different. It's not that it was one of those parents where he's like, oh, you have to clean the dishes and do this and do that. And, you know, you got to slave over everything. And the other one is just chilling. It's just the way he approached us about certain things was different because we're different people. And he knew that since we were born.
Day one.
Yeah, day one.
Literally day one.
Literally, she will be doing the dishes and she will be drying the dishes.
Oh
That's what the
gosh.
birth chart revealed to me.
So after that, you all basically said you would never base your relationship off of a sign.
Mm-mm.
What if somebody you met did? Like, you're already together, and they're like, yeah, you know, I love you, but you're a Scorpio. Like, we'll just never...
Well, it's obviously not
Yeah,
that
you're
much
gentle.
love then. It's like you love the sign more than the person. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Because, I mean, if you're feeling a connection between a person and then they try to hold that against you, it's like, well, you care more about the sign than you do the actual connection.
Mm.
So it's like, yeah. You love astrology more than me, so we're done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
And with that, I guess my last question would be, based off of all of this, is there a sign that you all don't like? This is a cone of safety. No.
I'll let everybody else. No, because I have another.
no.
I have another too.
Hateful young
that I
man.
don't like. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say
I'll
that
let everybody else go.
even though there was some very harsh words said against me
I
and my
didn't-
whole group of star sign, and even though maybe that was taken out of context, but I really felt deep down there was some deep emotions. I won't hold anything against them, but I will say that personally, I don't really see people based off their, their sign. So I can't really say, and I don't have enough knowledge about it to actually say like, oh, I understand this. So I don't have any preferences or any like judgment towards somebody. Like sometimes in jokes, I'll be like, oh yeah, you're so and so. I can see it. Like, or like, oh my goodness, yeah, don't like this. Like, but it's never something that's so deep that it holds so much truth to me that I'm like, oh yeah, this person, we will never interact because of the sign.
Any positive sign that you really do like?
I mean,
I don't want to be so negative.
no, I'm just saying I don't have positive feelings or negative feelings because I don't see people based off their signs.
Absolutely.
So it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I really love Virgos because I'm a Virgo. No, it's just like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what your sign is. Cool.
Let me say this. I'm not to the extreme in saying like I'll never talk to you because you're a Virgo or something. It's just
That's
some of
fine.
your
mom and brother.
yeah, like I love my mom and my brother. I love them, but
To an
some of their
extent.
some of their tendencies are kind of questionable. I'll
Well,
say that.
I think it might go back to the last episode where it's like you may prefer certain signs over others, but it's
Yeah.
like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, you're an Aries, so I automatically love you,
Yeah,
and I'm also
like,
gonna be like,
yeah.
oh, you're a Taurus, I hate you.
Yeah, it's not
You know
even.
what I mean?
Yeah, it's not that deep. It's just.
I mean, it may you
some
may be-
tendencies that you have, kind of questionable. You know? Doesn't mean I don't like you as a person.
Interesting. I'll
I
take this
just don't
into
like the way you
consideration.
act.
Megan, you've been kind of quiet. I want to hear from you.
Big Meg, what's up?
We ain't here for you.
I don't really know much about astrology, so I can't really comment much about it.
What do you
Okay.
know? Tell us the tea. Spill the astrology tea.
Do you think?
Her cup's empty, bro.
Do you think your sign matches some of your personality?
I think it does. I mean, I say because I don't know, because I always feel bad because if I haven't researched a topic enough, I feel bad talking about it because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I feel like in the comments they'll be like, yeah, she's definitely a Taurus. I can hear it in the way she's approaching the
Oh,
situation and
That's my
how she
favorite.
like try to I
What
think
we really should have done is just like let people guess like which ones we are. By the way we talk through the whole thing, that would be cool. And then like release it at the end.
I don't think they would even get mine though.
I don't think they would get either
That's what I'm
one
saying.
of ours.
It'd be interesting because it would kind of prove the validity of it or not.
Yeah.
We
Just-
need to record
unless
it
someone
though.
came
Yeah,
in with all the
absolutely.
right answers and you'd be like, ooh,
Ooh.
we got stalkers.
Yeah.
Make sure that social security number in check, make sure all my info is right.
Oh, that's my credit card in China, bro. What's going on?
Yeah, no.
Bro, I've been getting too much. I'm not even gonna get into that. But, like, I got some today.
Uh-oh.
Somebody used my Postmates in like
Wow.
LA or something, bro. I'm like,
Who are you?
like, come on, man.
Well, if there is nothing else to discuss, I just want to end saying that astrology can be a really fun topic. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have
Yeah.
to be super, I don't believe, so I'm not going to listen, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I think it can just help us better understand, everybody's character traits and how we approach everybody. But also just communication in general. Like Jasmine said last time, is just key. So don't assume that just because you're a Gemini or just because you're, a Cancer, that, somebody hates you. They might just hate you in general. So, with that, we want to end out this After Hours podcast.
Tell them how it is.
And say that we truly care about every single one of you. We hope that you're all doing well and hope you have the happiest of holidays. Don't get caught up with astrology like we just did.
But for all y'all Geminis out there, just know. Just know. I ain't having it. So don't even comment about me. Don't even put my name in your mouth.
Oh man,
I'm just
2020
playing.
vision, y'all.
I'm just playing.
So, Megan, can you close us out?
2020 vision.
Say a prayer, whatever you
Say
need.
a prayer,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But whatever you need.
Wait, did you already thank them for listening?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Thank you.
Thank you for
Okay,
listening.
thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to email us with questions or just like low-key fan mail or just criticisms about what we could do better, like topics you want us to talk about, email us at afterhourspodcast123@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at after_hours_podcast. We don't have much up on Instagram right now, but we're going to work on that over Christmas break. So have a good night, guys, and we'll see you next year. Or I don't know what order these episodes are going in. So
Merry Christmas.
2020 vision, y'all.
Well, good night.
It's
See
a
you
new
next
decade.
time.
Let's start off clean, y'all.
Jesus, please delete that.
Don't do crack.
Julia!
Don't be out here juuling.
To be fair,
Don't be juuling out
that's
here.
a really good point though. Like crack is pretty bad.
Stop opioids.
Okay, cut all that.
The opioid.
And then good night, and we'll see you next year.